Hey, Nile Motormouth Jenkins here with Car Connection. Thanks for stopping by and watching our YouTube channel. If you are interested in saving money on building a project, restoring or repairing a vehicle, and you want to do most of it yourself, you want to bring the vehicle back to life, which is what we're doing. This is our 97 Jeep TJ Wrangler. If you haven't been following the series, there's a lot to learn step by step, just the basics, the fundamentals in bringing this vehicle back to life, only because maintenance was not done. It was neglected. And I've been just doing a series on our podcast on the iHeart platform. You can find us on any platform that you pull your podcasts from. Just look up Car Connection Workshop and you'll be able to tap in. I'm just doing a series right now on the Motormouth Morning Drive on vehicle neglect. And that's what's costing a lot of you a lot of money. So Skippy's just showing you the fender flare that is still original looking, and the product that I use to do the trim work with, I use the same paint all the time, and it's pre-mixed, and I'll tell you, it is phenomenal to work with. And as you can see, the before fender flare and the after, these are all 1997, and I just brought them back to life. Same with the rear one, looked just as bad as the passenger side. I taped it off, I did it right on the vehicle. I didn't even pull it off, I did it right on the vehicle. Same paint work here. This is the dash from the 2006 Jeep Wrangler TJ. I just brought it back to life because it was all scorched here, because that Jeep came from Austin, Texas. So it saw a lot of sun, and look at the product that comes out. It's just gorgeous. This was all scorched, you wouldn't know it. And this was gray, just like that. That's the original Jeep color, and we're going to this color. This was gray, it's now black. And it actually has a nice kind of a sheen to it. That's the word, sheen. Because the actual color, they're calling it slate black. But when I put some shine juice on this, it'll look pretty good as well on the texture. This is original. I actually found it inside the Jeep. Somebody had robbed the handle out of it, but we had a handle on the original gray glove box, so I took it apart, and it's now black. It was all gray. So here's how I paint stuff with locks. See right here? Don't paint into the locks, guys. I use a little bit of shop towel, and I just go in there and I put a piece in there, and then I just pick it out. That's what I do. See it? There's my little shop cloth piece right there. Pull that out. No paint in the lock. Do not paint. I would never paint anything that has a lock in it without putting a little piece of paper in there just to keep it out. You can also, if you wanted, if this was a side door lock, I would just put a little blob of grease in there, so which won't hurt anything, a little blob of silicone grease. And so on this side, there's the mechanism there. You don't want to paint it either. So I just cut a little piece of paper and stuffed it in there. That's the latch mechanism there. You don't want to cover that in paint because you don't want it to stick. So there you go. So I will install that later today. It will go in here from the opposite side, like so. That'll look beautiful. So that's how you can do it yourself. And I use the same trim paint. I will put the product in the description of the video. This is the original what I call clamshell that goes over the steering column. I have to take it all back out. So I have to pull the lock cylinder out of the ignition switch. That's what this hole is for. You go straight up in there. There's a button to press, but again, you got to know what position to put the lock cylinder in, and you do not remove the key. Trust me, you don't take the key out because that'll mess you up. So what I was hoping for was that I could use the original. Oh, I already packed it away. The original won't work because this is a 5-speed. The 2006 I salvaged parts from was an automatic. So the holes are different in the side. Completely different. And the other problem I ran into was this is the release button to get your key out, to bring the key back so you can get the key out. The 2006 doesn't have this. And so it was going to be a mega challenge to make it work. And you know what? I thought I'll just prep these, and I'm going to show you in the next video how to prep your pieces, because we need this to be black. And I've already cleaned half of it, but I'm going to share that in another video to show you how you can prep it with stuff you can buy very cheaply and get the product ready for paint. So, and that's what I did with all of these ones that are painted. I prepped them out. This other half of the clamshell is prepped out. And you know what? In fact, I will paint that right in front of you so that you can see how easy it is to work with. And even though there's some marks on here, these marks are because whoever took the column apart before, I had fixed all the wiring. The whole wiring for the ignition and everything was hanging down. It was a mess. And I took my time and I brought the whole Jeep back to life electrically, and everything worked. You have to drop the steering column down to undo the 2 bolts, drop it down so you can slide this one in from the top and not scrape it into position, because I'll show you just quickly. A lot of guys do this. They force it in. See, you have this frame here and you can't get past it. You can't. But they'll force it in and then they'll rip it right out. So I did all this wiring, rewired it, so now I've got a nice clamshell. I'm not going to do what they did. There's 2 bolts, one on either side. I loosen it off and we let this drop down and it'll go in like butter. And then I can clamshell it. I got to put the ignition switch back in. If you ever have one of these apart, do not change the position of this is the clock spring. You will damage it, and they're expensive. So there's a tab here and a tab here. They're lined up. So don't take this thing and start cranking around, because you'll have it in the wrong clock position when you put the steering wheel and everything back on. You're going to snap it off and it's over. It's done. It's finished. So just a little tidbit there. So I'll paint this one right in front of you so you can see how it turns out, and we'll have 2 pieces that look the same, and when they go in there it'll look marvelous. So then you can save yourself a ton of money. And so here's a piece just to show you. Here is a piece that I have some, come on down here, Skippy. There's something going on here in the material, and I cleaned this really, really well. And I'm excited to have this piece, because this is where your sun visors tuck in, the tabs. This goes on the inside window frame and it finishes it off at the top. And the 97 never had that, but the windshield frame is out of the 06 and it has the capabilities of snapping in. So I've salvaged this because I want to put it in. But now I noticed this morning when I came out here, I got a little something going on. So I use 000 steel wool and just lightly scuff this, and I can make it go away with the next coat. So I repainted this morning at 4 a.m. and I could see there was something there. I thought I'm going to give it one more coat and see if it will straighten itself out, and it didn't. So just very lightly, I'm just doing that, and then I will put another coat on there and we see what we come up with. And it should fix itself up. So I'm just taking the crest off of that, and we'll see what we get. And it seems to come up on this side too. And I cleaned it really, really well, because you don't know how much silicone shine juice people put on stuff, so you got to get it off. So I'm going to show you how to do that in the next video, so you prep your stuff. The whole idea is to prep it properly so that there's no grease on it. I don't wipe it down with any chemicals. I just use a degreaser that is natural, and it will take off any silicone. So I'm going to paint this side the same as the other one, redo it so it's even. And just use the steel wool. That's all you need. Steel wool, and then I'll wipe it down and make sure I don't have any particles on there. I'll use my tack cloth to do that, and then I'll give that another coat. So that's how you can fix that. very, very quickly. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way because I'm not ready to apply another coat of paint just yet. I'm gonna take a little more steel wool to it. So here it is. I'm just gonna grab my mask for a quick second. I don't normally, but this is for the armchair warriors. So I don't get a comment, "You're not wearing a mask." I only wear my mask when I go to the store. Okay, so here it is. This is the product. I'll give you a quick flash. There it is. I get this from the Napa. You can get it from just about anywhere. Marhide's been around for years. It's black satin. That's the part number, 3811. This stuff is expensive, but I've done all that material with one can. I did all these fender flares, except the one, with one can. So it's like 36 bucks. You can't even buy that piece right there for 36 bucks. And don't try to do it all in one coat. I just want one even coat on the whole thing so I can give it a second coat and then we'll be done. So don't overdo it. Put a layer and let it sit. But just make sure you get your first coat on completely. And don't go heavy. That's it. Leave it alone. When your brain says, "Oh, I'm just gonna put a little more on," then you're gonna get a run. Then you gotta use the steel wool and then just clean your can. That's it. Ready to go. That's first coat. I'll do a second coat off camera. And then the whole purpose of this is the dash is in. I'm hooking it up. We're getting ready to button this up. That's the cowling that I'm gonna use. I'm going with a single vent instead of a double vent. And we're gonna change the hood as well. So this isn't in bad shape. It's got some dents, some patina, but I've got a perfectly good black hood, so from the same truck. So we're going to change this. We're using the single cowl venting. But all these pieces, when they're done, it's going to be a piece of cake to just install. So what I discovered was we didn't have this piece. So that's the end of this video. You see, you can do it, and I'm going to show you now how to prep the pieces because there's a right way and a wrong way, and we'll talk about that in the next video. As you can see, half of it's clean, half of it's not. Look at the difference. If you just go ahead and throw paint on that, what a waste. Like I said, that product is about 36 bucks a can. It goes a long way. If you were to pay a shop to do that for you, big money. You're going to pay big money. And I got a nice cowl gasket as well. I like this on the 06 because it curves around the end. The one that's on there only goes to here. So I wanted the full when I cleaned it. I just cleaned this with some degreaser. You're going to see how that stuff works. All right, so till the next one, we'll have another episode coming on so I can show you how to prep your plastic pieces properly. Because I did all this in about 2 hours, done. We got this piece to do, a redo on the other piece that goes up top on the windshield on the inside, and we can just go to town and put this thing back together. It's going to be so cool. It'll go so fast that it will encourage you. So if you're wanting to tackle something like this yourself, if I can do it, you can do it. It's that simple. If I can do it, you can do it. Learn the basic fundamentals. I used to work in a body shop at nighttime for a gentleman. He was German and he was fussy, and I sanded cars for him for free. Why? I wanted to learn how to do some of this stuff myself so that I could show somebody else. And he was great. He was really good to me and taught me a lot of skills just like this, how to do it. And so that paint that I show you is designed for trim. That's what it's designed for, but your prep work will only hold that paint if you do it right. You got to get your prep work right. That's where your time is. So till the next one, thanks for passing by. And it's a little mean outside today. If you hear some funny stuff, that's because it is super blustery here in Fort Erie where the workshop is. And I'll tell you, it's going to be a mean night for the pizza delivery guys, so be gentle. Give them a little extra. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Happy, healthy motoring to you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. If you enjoyed the video, like I know you did, ring the notification bell.